The objective of the Transec project is to improve the food security situation for the most vulnerable rural population in Tanzania. During 5 years, approximately 100 researchers in Germany, USA and Tanzania will help local stakeholders to design and to identify successful food securing strategies. The upgrading strategies will be tested and adjusted to site-specific sustainable settings. The aim is to disseminate these strategies for national outreach.
Areas with high rainfall. There are areas where the rainfall is not very certain, and there are areas which are semi-arid. So the areas which are semi-arid, most of them frequently, they become food insecure. And so it's very important to make sure that even the areas where rainfall is not reliable, to find means to make sure that those people in those areas are food secure, and they can produce sufficient food for themselves, and maybe they can have surplus.
I think this is a unique project which tries to upgrade the food system by working or promoting innovations at different scales, from the local scale, where the project will interact with the farmers, and at sub-national scale, district level, where we'll also look at innovations that contributes to the upgrading of different components of the food value chain, and also working with the policies at national level to see whether there could be something to improve or to do some policy reforms that will actually help upgrade the food value chains and improve the food system.
A food value chain is a research model that allows us to analyze all possible activities at farm level along the natural resources to production towards the consumption of food and including bioenergy activities. At the very end, everything what improves the food security situation at local level. We do action research in pilot studies. Our work is based on cooperations between researcher, local farmers and policy decision makers. We use existing local knowledge and experiences. This means we do not want to reinvent the wheel. We foster all measures that enhance food security to be implemented at local level. We work with future scenarios to better adapt to changing frame conditions. To do so, we use a series of well-known computer models. At the very end, we want to learn from success, but also from failure, of all tested innovation.
Transec is going to work in 2 regions of Tanzania, one semi-arid and one sub-humid region. This is the semi-arid Dodoma region in central part of Tanzania, and the sub-humid part more to the east of Tanzania. And within both regions we have 2 case study sites. These are village clusters of 800 to 2,000 households. And within these villages we will work together with local stakeholders along the food value chain.
Food security is not only a matter of crop production. It is also defined by other components of the food value chain, such as food availability, accessibility, quantity and quality.
Our main focus is the food value chain in Transec. We are working on-field and off-field along the food value chain. If it comes to on-field research, we are focusing on natural resource management, on food production. If it comes to off-field activities, we are doing research in processing, in markets and in consumption and in waste management.
Successful stories will be identified and tested. If these innovative good practices are proved to be successful, they will be upscaled to similar regions in Tanzania. They are called upgrading strategies.
It is a participatory demand-driven approach. This means we are testing and developing upgrading strategies together with the local stakeholders. They are telling us their demand and we are responding, and together we are going to test the upgrading strategies in the field and in the villages.
The Transec team is composed of different actors, from researchers, PhD students, technicians, drivers, policymakers to farmers. They form a multidisciplinary network where people from the theory and practice work hand in hand to achieve the project results.
Actually, we are going to start with key informants identification, and then next we have to identify the stakeholders, and after identifying the stakeholders, we have to start workshops. We will conduct workshops to create awareness to our stakeholders before we start the field work.
PhD students from German and Tanzanian institutes are analyzing a wide research area along the food value chain. This ranges from food production and processing to gender-specific structures and health issues.
The specific objective of my work is to look at the variability of soil hydraulic properties in the case study sites for the Transec project. The key contribution the study will give to the project will be helping to optimize water management for the context of the study sites, to help upscale some of the good management practices for the farmers within the study areas.
We are responsible for post-harvest processing, household energy and life cycle assessment of selected upgrading criteria. Well, at the moment we are taking a closer look at the processing of sunflower seeds, and we are investigating, for example, on the the processing facilities. These are usually oil mills outside of the villages. I personally think that this just can work with direct contact and interrelation with the local people, with the local actors.
I work in the Transec project in a very integrating task, 8.1, which foresees the impact assessment of the upgrading strategies. That means all the upgrading strategies that are being developed within the other work packages, they will come to us, and we will assess are they suitable and sustainable for the local reality. But particularly for the task of impact assessment, we do foresee to talk via interviews or with the help of focus group discussions and workshops with the stakeholders on regional level, for example, policymakers or associations. What is their opinion about the upgrading strategies that Transec elaborates. And then we take these upgrading strategies that were discussed and we bring them directly to the farmers. And we will again discuss within workshops, do the farmers also accept these upgrading strategies? Or is there a need of modification, combination? What are the priorities?
I specialize in gender issues. So the objective of mine is try to see the participation of women and men and the other gender group on the food value chain, on the chosen villages, to see how the different gender groups are integrated in the food value chain, and if they are participating the same according to their gender roles and their culture.
PhD students are also given the opportunity to take part in internship programs abroad. The intercultural exchange and mutual learning is essential for their scientific and social competences, which in turn contribute to the success of the entire project.
On one hand, you can learn from each other. You can see how the different science culture works within different institutions, within different countries. But on the other hand, of course, if you stay, we are staying here right now. We're trying to understand better how the social structures, how people interact. If Tanzanian PhD students come to Germany, there is a very big likeliness that they will understand better how the social interactions in Germany work, and respectively do incorporate that better in the joint working process. Well, the synergies that could arise are definitely that the results are simply better. If somebody drops in quick, in and out, and you collect data and you leave very soon after you collect the data, you will not have the deep-rooted knowledge and deep-rooted understanding of the data you gathered. You can analyze it, but the interpretation process is more limited.
Well, I hope, of course, that the people will participate, because only with their input we will find sustainable and suitable solutions for their local reality. So my expectations are also that everybody will be active and will give their honest input on the solutions that Transect provides.
Transect evaluates a new research model and methods to improve food security at local level. 100 researchers, technicians, policymakers and 4,000 farmer households work together to achieve the defined goals. Transect tests innovations towards upgrading strategies for small-scale farmers in Tanzania. Transect will upscale the successful innovations to other similar regions in Tanzania and other countries. The whole team works hard to improve food security as a global challenge.
Mfano hai tunauona jamani, tujifunze. Mfano hai tunauona jamani, tujifunze. Mfano hai tunauona